top stories, Ministry of Agriculture officials host broiler poultry industry consultation with farmers. Multi-million-dollar concession loan to assist with digital transformation in Barbados. And Rudy Giuliani admits making false claims about election workers. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today's Thursday, the 27th of July, 2023. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, officials within the Ministry of Agriculture from both St. Kitts and Nevis held talks with farmers about the prospect of a broiler poultry industry in St. Kitts on Wednesday. The consultation was held at the Department of Agriculture's large conference room. Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture in the Nevis Island Assembly, Hughie Sargent, explained that the idea for a poultry industry was birthed from the difficulties that could have arisen from supply chain shortfalls during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020.
In 2020, I think myself, Mr. Lyman, and our abattoir manager, we were at the threshold of COVID, and one of the items of the many discussions we were having, what if COVID proceeds where it was projected to go? And containers could not come to the Federation. What would we do, especially in terms of chicken? What would we do to feed our people? And we had a very small operation. I think we have about 2 or 3 farmers in Nevis who do broilers. And it is at the point where we can't advertise that when we have chicken, because we have hoteliers, we have quite a lot of our expats who simply inundate our abattoir in trying to get local chicken. Apparently local chicken is much better than the imported chicken. So we were just having that discussion, and we started to look at the value chain, and we realized, that was the impetus for us to do what we do.
He mentioned that the Nevis Island administration has already kick-started their poultry production initiative with the acquisition of machinery and the breaking of ground for the construction of a poultry processing facility.
Fast forward to 2023, I can just point out what we have done. I'll take that approach. We would have, so far, in April, I think we would have received a turnkey broiler processing line with a capacity of doing 700 to 800 birds per hour. We have also acquired an auto carousel cut-up line capable of producing wings, breasts, whole legs, drumsticks, and thighs. We have had approvals from our planning department to begin construction. Actually on Friday, we are having one of our final meetings to start the construction of our processing facility.
Following his remarks, persons in attendance were given the opportunity to ask questions, one of which was how to get started. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Miguel Fleming, explained that following the meeting, they'll be accepting applications from interested persons, followed by training.
The intention is to see who is interested, and once we get those applications, because we figure that some of the persons will also be looking for land, and then in short order we'll be having a training so persons can learn how to do this on their own. And then we'll have officers that are going to work with you to ensure that you're successful, because as the gentleman mentioned earlier, there's some level of mortality, and I believe the earlier you get into it as well, it's good, because then you get over that learning curve, and then when others are getting interested in coming to the market, you're already one step ahead. But definitely we'll be doing some training.
Other questions raised were how land can be acquired to conduct poultry production, and how will the ministry support farmers pursuing poultry production. Over the past few months, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has made strides to improve the delivery of healthcare services in the country. This was achieved through the acquisition of medical equipment and the development of human resources through the training of medical professionals. However, Prime Minister and Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, said more is being done and will be done by the Ministry of Health to further strengthen and improve the delivery of healthcare services. Prime Minister Drew was speaking on Freedom FM's Issues program on Wednesday, according to the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, when he said very soon his administration intends to make renal transplants available here in St. Kitts and Nevis. He's quoted as saying, "This is for the people who cannot catch a plane and go overseas. These people are dying sooner than they should because they don't have access to transplants. I cannot allow our people to die when we have an opportunity to save their lives. I would encourage our people to eat well, exercise, keep their pressure under control, your sugar, change your lifestyle, but in the event that they develop end-stage renal disease, we want to make sure that they have an option for renal transplant, and we're going to launch the renal transplant program," end quote. Prime Minister Drew also said that the Federation will welcome a team from Canada within a week's time to provide training for the staff of the hemodialysis unit of the JNF General Hospital to properly train on the use of dialysis machines that were recently received. St. Kitts and Nevis's voluntary national review that was presented for the first time to the United Nations this month included information taken from a youth panel discussion on the Sustainable Development Goals. This was stated by Director of the Public Sector Investment Program, Oren Manners, during his appearance on In Focus on Wednesday. He also said that the Youth Forum was held under the financial support of the United Nations and was coordinated by the Department of Youth.
Meaning is managing your affairs in a way to leave a better future for the next generation. And so, as the Minister said, we can't do that without youth involvement, because all the SDGs, the water issues, climate action, if they're not addressed, they're going to affect the younger population. I mean, I will admit that in the earlier part of the consultations on the VNR, we did not get involvement of youth, and apparently they feel that they're somewhat, if not marginalized, tokenized, as they put it, in terms of not being at the table.
Minister of Environment and Climate Action, the Honorable Dr. Joel Clark, spoke of the key parts of the forum.
We've said it since we did our delegation for COP27 to Egypt last year that St. Kitts and Nevis must present the voice of the youth, and these opportunities would amplify their voices and what they want for sustainability.
Dr. Clark underscored that youth involvement is important because the goal of becoming a sustainable island state and achieving our targets for sustainable development goals is all about the future. Moving